Good morning, folks, and very happy Thursday to you. I pray you're well today. Hope and pray that you're staying warm in this very bitter cold morning. You've heard me say it before. It's January, so it definitely feels like it, and it doesn't bother me too much because if the calendar says January, I'd like it to feel like January. So thank God for all His blessings. You may not necessarily enjoy the cold, but you still can be thankful to God who is faithful. Let me share with you this morning. I was reading this in my devotional. I got a new devotional for Christmas this year, and it's been really, really good so far and very inspiring. But in Psalm chapter 51, specifically verse number 13, I'm going to read that first, and then we'll get into a little bit of application. In Psalm chapter 51, verse number 13, David says, "Then I will teach transgressors your ways, and sinners shall be converted to you." Now, let me give you some context to the 51st Psalm. David is lamenting over his sin with Bathsheba in Psalm chapter number 51, and he's begging for God to wash him and blot out his transgressions. Let me read to you from starting in verse 1. "Have mercy upon me, O God, according to your loving kindness, according to the multitude of your tender mercies. Blot out my transgressions. Wash me thoroughly from my iniquity, and cleanse me from my sin." And David goes on to reveal to God, as it were, his sin and everything going on there, as if God didn't know already. God already knows. But he begs for God to restore him to that righteous fellowship that he has with God. And then in verse number 13, he says, "Then I will teach transgressors your ways, and sinners shall be converted to you." Now think about this, Christian. You come to know Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior. That is your prayer. That was my prayer, to cleanse us from all our transgressions. But then we have the additional responsibility of showing others the way of salvation. David says right here, "Then I will teach transgressors your ways, and sinners shall be converted unto you." If you were at our time together last night during our devotional time, I talked about the fact that we have seen Jesus, and now our responsibility is to show others Jesus. The context was that of when Jesus gave the blind man back his sight, or gave the blind man his sight. And the blind man says, "Who is it that I need to see for my salvation?" And Jesus basically says, "It's me." I'm paraphrasing that story, of course, but that's the gist of it right there. It's our responsibility. Once we were blind, but when we came to Christ, He gave us sight. And it's our responsibility to share that sight with other blind people, as it were. And then David says this very thing right here, "Cleanse me from my iniquities, and then I will teach transgressors your ways, and sinners shall be converted to you." So think about that right there. Think about it in the terms of, I don't know how many of you have done very much flying in your life, but you know, during the safety portion of the when they're getting ready to take off, and the flight attendant will talk about the oxygen mask. If necessary, they'll fall from the ceiling there, and then she says, "Put on your mask first, and then help those around you." So think about that. We have come to know Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, and then it's our responsibility to help those around us to see Him. So I hope and pray that you get some encouragement, a challenge from this passage today. And I am going to be out of the net, as we say in the Army, this weekend due to reserve weekend, but I'll come to you daily with our time together. No worries on that. So we'll make sure that each of us get a chance to have a little piece of God's grace each and every day. And you know, that's the reason why we do this. That's the reason why we have this time together daily, is because if we was to do it on our own, more than likely we wouldn't. So it sure is wonderful to have that reminder of God's grace, God's love, God's mercy each and every day. Hope y'all have a wonderful Thursday today. Be sure to bundle up when you go out. Stay safe, stay warm, and love you folks, and I'll talk to you a little bit later. God bless you.